Hey, so this is going to be kind of a rambling video, and it's kind of quiet, so I hope that the sound comes out. I'm at my parents' house, and it's in the middle of the night, so I'm talking quietly so that I don't wake anybody up. But I just had an interesting experience, or I've been having a bunch of interesting experiences, and I wanted to share. And I asked myself, why do I want to share? And I think it's because it's just a feeling sometimes we have, or I have the experience that sometimes there are things that I realize or am thinking about, and that part of the reason for that is that I'm supposed to talk to somebody else about it. Maybe they need to hear it. I don't know. So I was driving back home with my mom on the freeway, and I suddenly had this experience that, the background is that all things have been happening lately, like all these coincidences stacked up next to each other, or happening at the same time, really, different places, things like that. I don't believe in coincidences. I choose to believe that everything is happening in a way as a part of some sort of system that we just don't understand yet. Maybe don't need to understand. But I take many things. I take things as signs when I think about it. I try to be aware of what's going on around me, of course, to the extent that I can be, right? I think that's what we all do. We're aware to the extent that we can be. But the point is, all this stuff has been happening, and it's, in a conversation with my dad, he suggested that when we become aware of things that are kind of amazing, or things that we're in awe of or don't understand, or that really impact us, one of the ways in which we can make use of that experience, or maybe one of the purposes of that experience, is to remind us that we're all a part of this together, that we're all in this together, and we're all experiencing similar things in different ways, in slightly different ways, or in vastly different ways, but that we're all connected to each other. And that, so these crazy things that happen sometimes, that we feel some kind of impulse to explain, but can't, can serve that purpose, to remind us that we're all in this together. I think that's really powerful. So I was driving with my mom, and, we're going down this freeway in, the middle of Texas, and it's pretty dark, and we're going down this stretch of road that we know there's always the police, or several police cars, hiding out there, and we're talking about stuff, and suddenly I have this, it's basically a perception switch, and it's I'll try to explain it, but let's see how much sense I'm able to make. The reason I'm sharing this is kind of to see what you guys think about it, if you have had similar experiences, or the same experience, or insight, or if you're impacted by it, or whatever. But it's this vast switch of seeing things like they're right in front of you. I'll try this from profile. So usually I'm looking at things, and it's like I'm coming from here, you know, and I'm seeing like this, sort of like this is a plane in front of me, even though it's you know, it's three-dimensional. But to me, it's sort of like a picture. Like sometimes I feel like when my awareness is not very sharp, and I'm just floating around through life, you know, other things on my mind, not really paying attention to what I'm doing or where I'm going. It's like what's in front of me is just this picture, you know. But sometimes I've tried this experiment where I'm walking down a road and I'll see a tree, and I'll just think about the fact that the tree is in three-dimensional space, that I live in at least three-dimensional space, and that there's space between myself and the tree, and that just like it pops my world like into this three-dimensional space. It's awesome. I mean, just the fact that like we can change our mind set, like the way that we're seeing things, just in an instant, you know, by applying that intention. I mean, it's not a huge thing, but it is an experience I've had of going from 2D to 3D. Anyway, this other experience that I had tonight is similar, but it's like I'm usually seeing this picture, right? But even when I'm seeing the 3D, it's like in front of me, you know, like I'm looking and I'm in this body and I'm looking out, and this perspective switch that I'm talking about now is like suddenly my perspective is like from back here, and it's not like I'm looking at myself, but it's more like I'm realizing that this is a body, but that the consciousness is not the body at all. My guru actually talks about that a lot, that we are a soul that has a body, not a body that has a soul. And I think that's a really good way of summarizing that truth. I believe that for sure. And this perspective switch is like suddenly, just from coming like this flat screen, I'm suddenly like coming like this. And it's not that I see anything differently, but it feels different. It's like I'm looking at everything like life becomes more of a sphere. And I definitely want to talk more about this. There's this one concept that I've been toying with a lot, and it's the, you know, a lot of people talk about it in different ways, but I think that it's worth trying to explore, like this way that it's been coming to me lately as well. So I'll do that in the future, but I know I'm rambling, but thanks for bearing with me if you're still watching, listening. But there's the sphere feeling. It's just like suddenly it's not just 2D or 3D even, it's just this like, it's just this whole. And I don't know how to talk about that, you know? Like there must be descriptive ways of saying that, and I think a lot of people have had this experience and talk about it in different ways, if they talk about it at all. And I guess what I'll say for now, because this is a term that I've been running into lately, is unity of one. Unity, like this is just, it's an experience of unity to some degree. There are a lot of ways to experience unity, I think, and it just feels very blessed. And I feel just I'm very grateful for it, for everyone who is kind of a part of that. And that includes everyone who's watching this now. I don't know who that is. And but whoever you are, take care of yourself. And believe in yourself. There's a lot of good going on. There's a lot of... It's a good place. You're in a good space. Take care of yourself and be good to each other. Talk to you later. Goodbye.